Hi, so today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. So I'm gonna do a makeup look inspired by Meteor which is a drama that I just finished. So I have a lot of thoughts about it, so I thought I would do a look inspired by all my favorite parts of the show. Enjoy. So first off, we're gonna start with concealer and go in with the shade Snowflake Culture, with that shade, underneath the eyes to kind of conceal the lack of sleep that I've gotten over this drama, conceal how tired it is, how tired I am of having abusive relationships be romanticized and glamorizing, all that good stuff. So we're just gonna blend that in. And if you can't blend it completely under your eyes, that's okay. Because we're going to cover it with foundation. Make sure you get both eyes so people really can't tell how much sleep you lost over this drama. Just blend it into your skin. Because, abusive relationships are just a byproduct of snowflake culture. Doesn't matter if the guy stalks this girl who's rejected him. And who cares if he beats up her friends and calls them losers? You're just not getting the story, okay? It's all a part of the ploy of manipulation and gaslighting. We're gonna go in with the foundation called She Likes Someone Else First. Yeah, we're just gonna go in with that shade and rub it all over because she did like somebody else first, but apparently those feelings came and went out of nowhere, and she just started developing feelings for this guy who was so just generously abusive. Make sure you get it all over your eyes too, so people really know that this plot line that was crucial to the first part of the story doesn't actually mean anything. And then we're gonna go in with the foundation brush, and he's jealous, so his abuse is justified. Yeah, because we're gonna use it to blend in that she likes somebody else, but really what we're highlighting is the fact that he's jealous that she likes somebody else, so that justifies his abuse towards her because he likes her. So it doesn't really matter what shade we have on our face right now. It doesn't matter the complexion, okay? What really matters is that he was jealous. Screw her feelings, screw the guy that she likes. Even though at one point I'm pretty sure he liked her too. But screw all of that because, he was jealous. Just make sure you get it all, because if somebody sees some foundation that isn't perfectly blended in, they might know that the relationship is bullshit. Only one that matters in this scenario is Dao Mingxi. Even though he claimed to care about her feelings. Unless her feelings are for somebody else, in which case we can't be having that. No. Next, we're gonna go in with another concealer called Gaslighting. So we're just gonna blend that in with our fingers on our eyes so that we can't really see the abuse that C is inflicting on Shansai. We just wanna completely cover our eyes with that too. We really wanna show our love and appreciation for Meteor Garden 2018. Even though somebody said this was snowflake culture because there was worse abuse in the other adaptations, but that doesn't matter. And let's just blend that into the eyes so that we don't recognize anything that C is doing as abuse, because in other adaptations, because the abuse was worse, this doesn't really count. Classic gaslighting. If somebody else went through something worse, your abuse doesn't really count because it wasn't as bad. Let's move on to the eyeshadows. Yay! And we're just gonna go in with the shade Obsession. It's really important to convey that Shansai is genuinely falling for C it's not all a ploy from his abuse. She genuinely fell for him because of how nice he was, and totally not because he wouldn't leave her alone after abusing her consistently and gaslighting her and manipulating her into dating him, you know. That never happened. We're gonna pack that onto the center of the lid. Just like C packed Shansai's mother's lunch into her face, you know, because that's not abuse or anything. I know people say it's abuse, but they don't know what they're talking about. This is Meteor Garden here. This isn't abuse. And not only is it Meteor Garden, it's Meteor Garden 2018. That's not abuse. The other adaptations were abuse, but this is not abuse. No. Just pack it on there. You know, it's not like C's actions caused Shansai to almost be sexually assaulted by two other guys. You know, we're just going to ignore that. Now, on the outer portion of the eye, we're going to go in with the color Sexual Assault, because it really complements Obsession. And you'll see what I'm talking about once I pack it onto the lid. You know, just how C sexually assaulted Shansai on the roof, you know, and she was begging him to stop, and it wasn't until she was on the ground crying, begging him, that he actually stopped. You know, the fear in her eyes, we're really trying to highlight that with this color, you know. Just blend it into Obsession, because they meld just so well together. Like, they're so complementary, almost like one thing leads to another thing. Really highlight the abuse that C is putting Shansai through. Highlight the tears that she shed trying to get away from him. And how much she really liked Lei at this point. And C really had no reason or right to go after her like this. But then we're going to go in with one more shade, called Even Her Parents Don't Care that C is abusing her. So he comes over to their house, and Shansai is really adamant that she doesn't want him there. But what does that matter when he's rich? When you're rich, you can do anything. Let's pack that in. While we're at it, why don't we play some romantic music to, you know, really, you know, downplay how serious this is. We're gonna go in with this really nice shade called Blame the Victim for Their Abuse, which is exactly what C did to Shansai as he was abusing her. We're gonna take a nice fluffy blending brush under the name of Why Are You So Mean to Me? This Is Your Fault, which is an actual thing that C actually said to Shansai as he was sexually assaulting her. And we're just gonna blend that into the crease, shall we? The best thing you can do for a victim is to blame them for the abuse that was inflicted on them. Blend so perfectly with the obsession and the sexual assault, and her parents not even caring. It really highlights how much they don't care. Take it under the eyes too, just, you know, because that's what the whole show revolves around. And you know, if you mess it up, it's fine. People will still say that this drama is too soft. Now we're going to go in with the shimmer shade. But I think for today, for the look that we're really trying to go for, we're going to go in with the shade Her Feelings Came Out of Nowhere. I went in with the brush called Buying Someone Nice Things Will Excuse All of the Abuse that they inflicted on you. Yeah, just for good measure. We're going to go in with the gel liner called Shansai Second Guessing Herself because her parents and her friends pressured her into being with somebody who abused her. They didn't know that she had a valid reason not to be with them, but that doesn't really matter. Really gonna make this look intense. I'm going to go in with the shade Character Growth is Gradual and Doesn't Happen All at Once. And I'm just going to blend this in with my fingers because I can't seem to find my brush. That this show really tries hard to convince us that C has changed, even though he still gaslights and manipulates Shansai in every episode. But you know, that's okay. We'll just blend it in with our fingers, because who cares at this point? We're already invested. Did I mention this drama was 49 episodes? This is fine. I'm fine. We're just gonna go in with our contour. We're gonna go in with the darkest contour in the shade That's Not How Consent Works. We're gonna blend it in with our nice angled brush called Don't You Want to Be With Me Anymore? And blend the shade That's Not How Consent Works into our cheekbones. Just blend all of it into your cheekbones to really chisel them so people really know that's not how consent works. It doesn't matter if other adaptations had C's character actually try and rape Shansai. In this one, it doesn't matter because he wasn't actually trying to rape her. He was just trying to manipulate and gaslight her. Apparently the show really doesn't know how consent works. But you know, Don't You Want to Be With Me Anymore really blends this out nicely. So people may still think that it's consent. We're going to go in with some blush to really highlight the fact that Shansai really believes that she is enjoying and wants this relationship. You know, couldn't be the gaslighting and manipulation that makes her believe that she wants it. Shansai losing her fighting spirit. It's pretty important to tie in the whole look. So we're gonna go in with this blush brush, and he never actually apologizes, and later they even laugh about the fact that he refuses to apologize to her for the abuse that he inflicts on her. It blends out everything so nicely. Just put that right on the cheekbones. Okay. Really look like you're enjoying yourself. Who needs to fight back when C never apologizes anyway? So it doesn't really matter if you fight back, because he's the abuser in this situation. I mean, he's the person whose feelings really matter in this situation. So, you know, it's not like C implied that in their marriage that Shansai would be the perpetrator of domestic abuse. It's not like he implied that or anything. You know, we're happy about Meteor Garden 2018 because, you know, it toned down a lot of the abuse, and we're really happy about it. Blushing, even. We're gonna go in with this lipstick in the shade The Tears I've Shed Over This Drama, out of anger and frustration, because it makes the other elements of this look really stand out. And there we go. I hope this tutorial has helped you in and has helped you in your decision on whether you should watch it. Obviously my vote would be for no, even though this look really did turn out cutely, but yeah, my vote would personally be for no. Everything that I talked about in this video actually happens in the drama and more. I actually have a written review up on my Instagram page right now, and I will be linking that in the description if you want to go through my timeline and read my review, or if you prefer, I can do a video review. I did actually finish this drama earlier this week, and ever since then it's like Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls, where she can't stop talking about Regina George. It just comes up like word vomit. Like, I can't help hating the show and talking about how much I hate it, which is why I did this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made you laugh. If you also hate Meteor Garden for the same reasons that I do, I hope that if you were debating whether you should watch Meteor Garden, this really helped you in your decision making. I have had people say that the other versions are better, but those people have also said that other adaptations featured heavier abuse and bullying, which is why they were better. Which, in my opinion, if I can't even handle C throwing food at Shansai and sexually assaulting her on the roof, then how I'm gonna handle him actually trying to rape her, and other such abuse. No. And this is the only drama that I have ever watched that actually made me cry from anger and frustration, because of how much I hated watching it. And I watched all 49 episodes. It doesn't get better. They try really hard to convince you that it gets better. But even though C is no longer physically abusive, he still gaslights and guilt trips Shansai quite a bit. In the end, when they're showing credits, or not even credits, when they're showing moments between them that were meaningful, they play the scene where he is sexually assaulting her, and the scene specifically that they play is when he has her up against the wall and he's basically blaming her for what he's doing. He says the line, "Why are you so mean to me? This is your fault." That's not an exaggeration. He actually says that. And even before that, when I said that, he guilt trips her, yeah, that's not an exaggeration either. He basically is like, "Sleep with me," pushes himself onto her, and she stops him because she doesn't want to have sex with him yet, which is completely understandable. But then he guilt trips her by saying, "Don't you want to be with me anymore?" That's not an exaggeration. That's something that actually happens. And, it can be very triggering. Like I said, I cried from how angry this drama made me. But then after hearing that, she's like, "No, I do want to be with you," and like gives in. Yeah, it's very hard to watch somebody be gaslit so often and manipulated so thoroughly for so long. So yeah, I would not personally recommend watching this drama. I would personally recommend you go watch Fall in Love with Me, which does feature a mean guy of a male lead, and he does sexually assault the female lead at one point. However, they didn't do it like they did it in Meteor Garden. Okay, in Meteor Garden, Shansai was made to be helpless, even though previously she was shown to be quite strong and to be able to stand up for herself. But they made it so that she was so helpless during the scene. Whereas in Fall in Love with Me, when Xiao Lu kisses the female lead without her consent, she pushes him away and slaps him and then walks off. He doesn't pursue her. He's actually remorseful over what he's done. And that's the big difference. Even now, I went and I watched Love Now, which is so great. It's like a breath of fresh air after watching
it. You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
After having to sit through 49 episodes of abuse and manipulation, because the main lead, basically everything he does for the female lead is solely because he wants to make her happy and he expects nothing in return, which in turn makes her want him. He respects her. He respects her consent. He does, even if she's verbally saying that she wants to do something, he can tell that she's not ready for it. And so he doesn't push himself on her. He, in fact, does the exact opposite and is like, you know, you don't have to force yourself to do this. I don't expect anything in return. You should wait until you're ready. Which is such a breath of fresh air because C invalidates Shantae's feelings and her consent so often. So I would personally rather go watch those two. Love Now is actually 72 episodes, but it's worth the binge. Or go watch Fall in Love with Me, which is much shorter, but it's a lot better than watching somebody literally sexually assault somebody and be romanticized for it. So that's it. Let me know if you want an actual review of this drama or if this sufficed.